Fans of the close-knit community, brace yourselves because the world you've come to know is on the verge of a seismic shift. The steady, comforting pulse of life in this town is about to be fractured by a revelation so staggering it will send tremors through every relationship and long-held belief. Eleanor Vance, the resilient core of this narrative, the woman who has faced down heartbreak and rebuilt her life from the ashes of loss, now finds herself at a precipice that could change everything. A pregnancy sudden, overwhelming, and fraught with questions she never imagined facing has arrived. But this is far more than just an impending birth. It's a discovery that pries open old scars, while simultaneously planting seeds of new possibilities. A ghost from her past stirs. Could this child be Liam's, a living fragment of the intense love she believed was tragically extinguished forever? Or does it herald a new chapter? A baby symbolizing recovery, hope, and a future intertwined with David, the man whose quiet support has gradually coaxed her heart back towards love. As powerful memories of Liam collide with the deepening connection she shares with David, emotions surge not just within Eleanor, but reverberating through everyone connected to her. Her mother, Isabel, her steadfast friend, Chloe, her young son, Sam, each is forced to examine their own truths as yesterday and today clash dramatically. Looming over it all is the pivotal question: where does Eleanor's heart truly lie, and crucially, who will be the one standing beside her as she navigates this next uncertain phase of her life, a journey defined by love found, love lost, unexpected second chance, and the profound promise held within new beginnings? This isn't merely a plot twist, it's a crucible. It's a profound test of loyalty, legacy, and the enduring power of love that threatens to uproot the very foundations of their lives. Prepare yourselves because the season ahead promises not just deep emotion, but genuine transformation. The path forward is raw, authentic, and intensely human. Believe us, you won't want to look away for a second, because the events unfolding won't just redefine Eleanor Vance's future, they will permanently alter the tapestry of this community's story as we understand it. A stunning revelation sends shockwaves through Eleanor's carefully reconstructed life. A surprise pregnancy arrives, shattering the fragile peace she has painstakingly fought to secure. And with this news comes the question echoing in everyone's thoughts: who is the father? Could it truly be Liam, the man who is her first real love, her kindred spirit, the one whose absence carved a void in her soul, and whose memory lingers in the familiar streets and quiet corners of her world? Or does the child belong to David, the dependable, kind soul who has become her anchor through recent storms, offering her not just solace, but a tangible chance to rebuild, a vision of a future that beckons her in ways she hadn't anticipated? For years, Eleanor has been the quiet strength of her circle, the one holding everything together even as her own spirit weathered private storms. She has shouldered burdens, tended to others' needs, all while silently nursing the persistent ache of her own unresolved grief. But this news changes the equation entirely. It compels her to pause, to turn inward, and to confront a maelstrom of feelings she thought were long dormant. The past she shared with Liam, the vivid memories, the depth of their connection, the dreams they once chased together surges back. The present she's building with David, the gentle understanding, the slow, steady blossoming of something tender and real, offers a different kind of pull. Her hopes and fears for her son Sam, her identity as a mother and as a woman, and now the new life growing within her, threatening to unravel everything she thought she knew. The collision of these potent forces pushes Eleanor onto an unknown path, one she never foresaw traveling. Will this unexpected pregnancy become the catalyst for her complete healing, the doorway to a genuinely new chapter? Or will it dredge up everything she's tried to suppress: the lingering sorrow, the difficult truths, the hard choices that have always hovered just below the surface? In this single, pivotal moment, Eleanor's existence is poised on a knife's edge. Yet, this isn't solely Eleanor's story. It's the story of everyone interwoven into her life, even young Sam, trying to understand the shifting dynamics around him. Each person will be caught in the emotional currents of this revelation. The town, usually a haven of familiarity and comfort, transforms into the stage for one of the most emotionally charged periods they've ever experienced. Every friendship, every shared history will be touched by this unexpected turn, each individual forced to contend with their own reactions, their own truths, their own stake in the future. This becomes a narrative of second chances, of secrets too heavy to remain hidden, and of the tenacious bonds of chosen family that can weather even the most unpredictable storms. Their lives are about to embark on a journey that will challenge them, move them deeply, and ultimately leave an indelible mark. One truth is undeniable. Nothing can remain the same. 3. Eleanor's history with Liam was a tapestry woven with intense connection, but also frayed by hardship, loss, and a separation that came far too soon. His death left an irreplaceable void in her existence, a space that the passage of time hasn't managed to fill. Liam wasn't just a partner. He was her confidant, her staunchest ally, the father figure Sam barely knew. His absence resonates daily, a constant, quiet echo of the shared future they were robbed of. Moving on has been a complex, nonlinear process. Then, into this landscape of grief, came David, a calm, reassuring presence, entering her life not with fanfare, but with quiet consistency. He didn't arrive aiming to replace Liam, to overwrite the past, or to pretend the pain hadn't happened. What David offers is fundamentally different: a space to heal, an invitation to begin anew, a chance to embrace a form of love that doesn't demand the erasure of old wounds, but instead walks patiently beside them. His empathy, his quiet persistence, his unwavering devotion have provided Eleanor with the support she needed to confront her sorrow, to start healing in ways she hadn't thought possible. Their connection has organically deepened into something authentic, built on shared vulnerability, quiet moments of care, and mutual respect. Through David, Eleanor is tentatively relearning how to love, not in the same way she loved Liam, consumed by youthful passion and eventual tragedy, but in a manner that respects both her history and the possibility of a different future. The emotional journey ahead for Eleanor, for David, for Sam, and for everyone intertwined in their lives will be a powerful testament to the resilience of the human heart, the enduring strength of love, and the unbreakable bonds of community. This next chapter promises to deliver moments that are both heart-wrenching and soul-affirming, leaving everyone involved profoundly affected and deeply invested in the outcome. But with the staggering news of Eleanor's pregnancy, that carefully constructed balance threatens to shatter. Suddenly, nothing feels straightforward. Is this child Liam's a final, tangible link to the love that once defined her entire universe? Or does it belong to David, the genesis of a new narrative, brimming with potential and hope? This question alone plunges Eleanor into an internal tempest. Her heart, still anchored to the memory of Liam, finds itself simultaneously drawn towards David's dependable presence. She feels caught between two immense forces: the past that forged her and the future that softly calls to her. Liam embodies the unforgettable, formative love that shaped her very being. David represents the unknown, a quiet offering of healing, stability, and perhaps a different kind of happiness. 4. This pregnancy, however, complicates everything immeasurably. It transcends the question of paternity. It delves into identity, the nature of love, and the kind of life Eleanor truly wants to lead from this point forward. As Eleanor grapples with processing this life-altering revelation, the emotional burden feels immense. This baby will forever bind her to one of these men, and that connection carries inevitable consequences, responsibilities, and a profound emotional reckoning. Motherhood itself isn't new territory for Eleanor, but the circumstances surrounding this pregnancy feel entirely alien. She isn't the same person she was when Sam was born. She's stronger in some ways, more guarded, yet paradoxically more vulnerable than ever before. The fear of making an irreparable mistake, of inflicting pain on someone she cares for, of potentially dismantling the fragile stability she has managed to reclaim, hangs over her like a gathering storm. And the truth she recognizes, it cannot stay hidden indefinitely. Eventually, inevitably, she must confront both the enduring legacy of Liam's memory and the reality of David's hopes and expectations. Will David prove to be the partner who can weather this storm alongside her, offering unwavering support? Or will this unexpected revelation inadvertently push him away, creating distance where there was closeness? Will Liam's powerful, lingering presence continue to exert its hold over her heart? Even now, every conversation, every shared glance, every moment of silence is suddenly charged with unspoken weight and unanswered questions. Every decision, no matter how small, feels monumental. As the story progresses, one fact becomes starkly, painfully apparent. Their lives and the community around them will be irrevocably changed. Eleanor's pregnancy doesn't just alter the course of her own life, it fundamentally reshapes the emotional topography of everyone connected to her. Her path forward is shrouded in uncertainty, her heart pulled in conflicting directions, and her future hangs precariously in the balance. Viewers will be drawn into every decision, every tear shed, every difficult, heartfelt choice she makes along the way. Because this is no longer simply about choosing between the past and the future. It's about the profound internal battle raging within Eleanor herself and the legacy she is unknowingly beginning to shape. Can she preserve the life she has painstakingly rebuilt? Or will this pregnancy compel her down a road she never anticipated? And critically, who will remain steadfastly by her side through this tumultuous emotional odyssey? Will it be the memory of Liam, the presence of David, or perhaps somehow elements of both shaping her journey? As the narrative unfolds, the stakes escalate and the emotional toll on Eleanor intensifies. She must navigate the intricate web of love, loss, grief, and hope for the future, all while carrying the physical and emotional weight of a new life growing inside her. The question of paternity might seem like the central mystery, but Eleanor's true, underlying challenge lies in understanding what this pregnancy fundamentally means for her own heart, her identity, and the direction her future will take. The most significant question of this arc looms large. Who is the father of Eleanor's child? This inquiry transcends simple biological fact. It encompasses the deep emotional stakes involved, the intricate web of relationships, and the profound choices Eleanor will inevitably face in the episodes to come. With Liam and David as the two possibilities, the answer carries a weight that resonates far beyond Eleanor herself. The revelation holds profound implications for the trajectory of Eleanor's personal journey. Liam wasn't just Eleanor's first significant love. He was the bedrock of her world during a formative time, her fierce protector, and her unwavering partner through the myriad challenges life presented them. From their early days, navigating the complexities of young adulthood, to the shared milestones they reached, Liam and Eleanor's bond seemed to strengthen with every obstacle they overcame, solidified by shared resilience and an undeniable, deep-seated devotion. They were more than just a couple, they were a team. Together, they had weathered storms, built a life filled with shared dreams, and created a sense of home, a sanctuary where healing felt possible. Liam wasn't simply her partner. He was her safe harbor, the father of her young son, Sam, the man who embodied her hopes for a lasting future. But that envisioned future was cruelly, abruptly shattered. Liam's sudden death fractured Eleanor's reality, leaving behind an aching silence that permeated her days and haunted her nights. No passage of time seemed capable of truly mending the wound his loss carved into her heart. The grief that ensued was immense, an all-consuming tempest that threatened to pull her under. Yet even amidst the crushing agony, Eleanor discovered a reservoir of strength she hadn't known she possessed. She pushed forward, driven not just by self-preservation, but for Sam, for the memory of the love she shared with Liam, and in honor of the life they had built. And now, as Eleanor confronts the shocking possibility that she might be carrying Liam's child, she is forced once again to grapple with the haunting specter of what if, a question that brings her face to face with the life that might have been. 6. If this baby is indeed Liam's, it signifies more than just a biological connection. It represents the last, precious fragment of him, a living link bridging the past with the present. It becomes a symbol of a love so profound that even death could not entirely extinguish its echo. But for Eleanor, it is also a poignant, potentially painful reminder of all that was irrevocably lost, the future they had meticulously planned, the life they were meant to share, growing old side by side, raising their child together, watching their love deepen and evolve through the years. This pregnancy could feel like a miraculous, unexpected gift, or it could be the wound that perpetually refuses to scar over, reopening emotional injuries she has fought so hard to heal. And standing quietly amidst this emotional maelstrom is David. David didn't enter Eleanor's life with the intention of replacing Liam. He arrived to offer support as she navigated the slow, often agonizing process of rebuilding her world. He didn't offer grand, sweeping gestures or hollow platitudes. Instead, he provided something far more valuable: quiet consistency, unwavering presence. His affection is steady, gentle, and grounded in reality. It doesn't seek to erase Liam's memory. Rather, it respectfully acknowledges it. In doing so, David has offered Eleanor something she had ceased to believe was possible: the genuine prospect of a new beginning. With David, the future feels less daunting, less tethered to the heavy weight of sorrow. He embodies healing, hope, and a different kind of love, one born from patience, understanding, and peace, rather than the intense fusion of passion and grief that characterized her relationship with Liam. If the baby is David's, it signifies a potentially profound turning point for Eleanor. It represents a chance for her to truly step out from the long shadow cast by her past and embrace the light of a future she hadn't dared to envision. But letting go, truly letting go, is rarely simple, especially when one's heart feels irrevocably stitched to the memory of the person they lost. As Eleanor's feelings for David continue to deepen, so too does her underlying fear, a fear of somehow betraying Liam's memory, of diminishing the significance of what they shared. How can she fully embrace a future with David when a significant part of her heart will forever belong to Liam? This pregnancy transcends the mere determination of paternity. It places Eleanor squarely at a critical crossroads in her life. It's a moment demanding a choice, not just between two men, but fundamentally between two potential versions of her own future self. Liam and David symbolize distinctly different paths, one deeply rooted in passionate love, profound loss, and bittersweet memories, the other offering healing, quiet hope, and the promise of something entirely new. Choosing one path inherently means embracing a version of herself she hasn't yet fully stepped into, a future she is still learning to imagine. 7. And the consequences of this choice will ripple outwards, extending far beyond Eleanor herself. Liam's family, particularly his mother, Caroline, has remained a quiet but constant presence in Eleanor's and Sam's lives. Since Liam's death, Caroline has been a source of subtle strength, a doting grandmother to Sam, a confidant to Eleanor, and a fellow traveler in grief, still carrying the memory of her son in her heart. If the baby turns out to be Liam's, Caroline might experience a complex surge of joy, unlike anything she's felt since losing her son, an unexpected, precious gift bringing a tangible piece of Liam's legacy back into the world. But this joy would inevitably be intertwined with the sharp pain of grief, the reminder of what could have been, the milestones Liam will never witness, the life he was tragically denied. For Caroline, this child could represent both a miracle and a heartbreaking echo of the future they all lost. Conversely, if the baby is David's, the situation becomes emotionally intricate in a different way. Could Caroline feel a sense of being replaced, of Liam's memory fading, or will she find the resilience to support Eleanor as she embarks on this new chapter, even if it signifies letting go of the last potential living link to her son's unrealized future? One certainty remains. This pregnancy fundamentally alters the landscape. It forces Eleanor to confront her deepest anxieties, her most persistent sorrows, and a future she never anticipated navigating. It challenges the foundations of every significant relationship she holds, every assumption she had about herself, and the very essence of the life she believed she was rebuilding. Regardless of the biological father, Eleanor's journey forward is irrevocably changed. As the narrative unfolds, viewers will be drawn deeper into the emotional core of these interconnected lives, a place where love endures, but healing often arrives through the most unexpected and challenging circumstances. However, if the baby is confirmed as David's, it might introduce subtle tensions. While Caroline respects David, the tangible reality of Eleanor building a new family with another man might be difficult for her to fully embrace, stirring complex emotions tied to her own loss. The identity of the father serves as more than just a plot device. It acts as a mirror reflecting Eleanor's internal state, her heart's journey navigating the terrain between past grief and future possibility. As this central revelation comes to light, it will inevitably shape the trajectory of Eleanor's life and significantly impact the lives of everyone closely connected to her. Whether the father is ultimately revealed to be Liam or David, Eleanor's pregnancy is set to irrevocably alter the established dynamics within their community. Caroline may grapple with accepting Eleanor's new life path with David, especially while Liam's memory remains such a potent force. This internal struggle could generate palpable tension as both women navigate the shifting sands of Eleanor's evolving reality. 8, Liam's father, George, introduces another layer of emotional complexity. His relationship with Eleanor had historically been somewhat strained, marked by a degree of misunderstanding, particularly in the early days. He perhaps never fully grasped the unique depth of the bond between Eleanor and Liam, leading to interactions occasionally tinged with friction. Over the years since Liam's passing, however, George has gradually come to accept Eleanor as part of the extended family fabric, even developing a closer connection with his grandson, Sam, embracing that role. George's reaction to the pregnancy news will be significant. If the child is Liam's, George might experience a complicated mix of bittersweet joy, a tangible reminder of his lost son, offering a sliver of comfort amidst the enduring ache of absence. However, the grief associated with this reminder could also resurface painful memories surrounding Liam's death. If, on the other hand, the baby is David's, George might find himself struggling with the notion of Eleanor moving forward so definitively. Quote, having witnessed the profound depth of her grief in the aftermath of Liam's death, the thought of her starting a new family with David might be difficult for him to reconcile. He might perceive it perhaps unfairly as a form of betrayal or feel deeply conflicted, torn between honoring his son's memory and accepting the reality of Eleanor's new life path. This internal conflict promises to add significant emotional depth and complexity to the unfolding narrative. For young Sam, the news of his mother's pregnancy represents a major life adjustment. Having only known the dynamic of his life with Eleanor, shaped by the absence of his father, the idea of a new sibling, especially one with an uncertain paternal link, will likely introduce confusion and perhaps insecurity. If the baby shares his late father, Sam might feel a unique connection, but also face the challenges of a changing family structure. If the baby is David's, Sam might grapple with understanding why his mother is moving forward in this way, particularly if his own processing of Liam's death is still ongoing. Eleanor will face the delicate task of guiding Sam through these complex emotions with abundant love, honesty, and sensitivity. Emotions are bound to run high, making this an incredibly challenging aspect of her journey. The reactions and emotional responses from Liam's family, Caroline and George, will inevitably influence how Eleanor navigates her pregnancy and the decisions she makes. As the story progresses, viewers will witness the evolution of these intricate family dynamics and observe how Eleanor's internal struggle between honoring the past and embracing the future plays out in her interaction. Will Liam's family find the capacity to fully support her as she embarks on this new chapter, or will their own unresolved grief and complex feelings overshadow that potential support? Regardless of the eventual outcome concerning paternity, one thing is crystal clear. This pregnancy marks a significant turning point, compelling everyone involved to confront their deepest emotions, reevaluate their relationships, and grapple with the enduring legacy left by Liam. 9. Eleanor's journey through this unexpected pregnancy delves far deeper than simply identifying the father. It centers on her profound inner struggle and evolution as a woman who has already weathered immense personal tragedy with the loss of her partner. The news itself shakes the foundations of the life she has painstakingly rebuilt. It's not merely about the practical preparations for a new baby. It's about the complex process of reconciling with the ghosts of her past, navigating the persistent currents of grief, and daring to hold on to hope for a different kind of future. Eleanor's internal turmoil becomes one of the primary emotional engines driving this season's narrative, shaping not only her own destiny, but also influencing the paths of those closest to her. As she traverses this intensely emotional landscape, viewers will witness her confronting lingering grief, potential guilt, and the tentative, fragile possibility of finding new happiness, forcing her to make decisions that will ultimately define the road ahead. Eleanor's pregnancy introduces both significant emotional and practical challenges, demanding careful navigation through this transformative period. Her developing feelings for David become inherently complicated by the pervasive uncertainty surrounding the pregnancy's origins. If the child is indeed David's, it presents a clear opportunity to move forward together, building a new family unit. However, Eleanor simultaneously harbors fears about what embracing this future might mean for her enduring emotional connection to Liam. Her ongoing grief creates a powerful internal conflict. The very idea of having a child with David forces her into a direct confrontation between her loyalty to Liam's memory and the reality of her burgeoning relationship with David. While she genuinely cares for David, values their connection, and appreciates his steadfastness, a part of her inevitably questions whether she is truly emotionally prepared to embark on starting a new family with him. Having invested so much time and emotional energy in mourning Liam, this pregnancy acts as a crucial test of her readiness to genuinely let go of the past and fully embrace the present. For Eleanor, the pregnancy becomes a litmus test for her heart. Does she possess the capacity to make space for David in this profound new chapter, or will the powerful memories of Liam continue to overshadow her potential for happiness with someone new? David, too, is likely to grapple with his own moments of doubt and confusion during this period. While the prospect of potentially becoming a father might fill him with joy and anticipation, he may also harbor anxieties about whether Eleanor is fully committed to this path with him, given her history. David is acutely aware that Eleanor's heart remains deeply connected to Liam, and he might struggle with insecurities about the true nature of his place in her life. Does Eleanor view him as a genuine partner for the future, or primarily as someone who helped her navigate the immediate aftermath of Liam's absence? The delicate, evolving dynamic between Eleanor and David is put under immense pressure, compelling both of them to confront difficult, potentially painful questions about their shared future. Do they truly desire the same things? Are they both emotionally equipped to face the inevitable challenges that lie ahead together? A central question that emerges for viewers is whether Eleanor will ultimately choose to remain rooted in the community and life she knows, or if this pregnancy might catalyze a decision to leave. As she confronts the practical realities of impending motherhood and the persistent uncertainty surrounding the child's paternity, Eleanor might begin to fundamentally reconsider her life within the familiar confines of her town. The sheer emotional weight of the pregnancy, compounded by the complexities of her relationships with David and Liam's memory, could lead her to question whether this place can continue to be her true home, the place where she can fully heal and build her future. The decision to stay or go is far from simple, especially given how deeply Eleanor's identity is intertwined with the community, her history there, and the network of loved ones who surround her. However, this pregnancy might serve as the impetus for her to make choices that align more closely with her personal emotional growth and her evolving aspirations for what she wants her future and Sam's future to look like. Eleanor's journey could significantly hinge on how she adapts to and manages the new responsibilities that come with this second-time motherhood under such unique and challenging circumstances. Raising a child amidst this complex emotional backdrop might force her to reevaluate her priorities entirely. Will she continue pursuing the path she was on, perhaps involving her work or existing commitments? Or will her role necessarily evolve as she fully embraces the demands and joys of being a mother again? Eleanor's pregnancy isn't just a personal turning point for her. It also speaks volumes about the future of her family unit and the legacy she wishes to cultivate. As a mother to Sam, and potentially to another child soon, Eleanor might feel a renewed, perhaps even urgent, sense of purpose in securing a stable and loving future for the next generation. She could find herself motivated to create a legacy that not only respectfully honors the memory of Liam, but also authentically reflects her own growth, resilience, and the core values she holds dear for her children. This pregnancy will undoubtedly have a profound impact on Sam as well. The mother-son bond has always been a central pillar of their story, and now Sam faces the significant challenge of adjusting to the idea of a new sibling entering their lives. How will this fundamental change affect his relationship with Eleanor and his place within the wider family circle? Sam, having already navigated the difficult terrain of losing his father at a young age, might experience a complex mix of excitement and deep-seated confusion about the prospect of a new addition to their small family. As Eleanor and Sam navigate this transition together, Sam's own emotional development will likely parallel Eleanor's journey toward healing and embracing the future, whatever it may hold. The ripple effect of Eleanor's pregnancy will inevitably extend beyond her immediate household to touch the broader community. The town, the network of friends and neighbors, has always been more than just a backdrop. It's a place where relationships are forged, tested, and lives become deeply intertwined. Isabel, Chloe, Liam's parents, Caroline and George, and the rest of their close circle will all be impacted by this significant new chapter unfolding in Eleanor's life. 11. Isabel as a grandmother will find her supportive role tested in new ways, perhaps harboring concerns about the future and Eleanor's capacity to navigate the challenges ahead while honoring the past. Chloe, the loyal friend, may find herself providing crucial emotional support while grappling with her own feelings about the situation. Meanwhile, Caroline and George, Liam's parents, face the complex task of processing the arrival of a new baby, potentially their grandchild, potentially not, while still navigating their own enduring grief over the loss of their son. Each character's response to the pregnancy will be unique, colored by their own history and relationship with Eleanor and Liam, but all will be shaped by the profound changes this event brings into Eleanor's life and extension their own. On a broader narrative scale, this pregnancy introduces fertile ground for new storytelling avenues within their world. The arrival of a baby could inject fresh dynamics into existing relationships, influence decisions about the future, or even necessitate the introduction of new characters into their circle. The challenges of balancing personal life, work, and family within a close-knit community will continue to evolve, and Eleanor, along with her entire support system, will need to adapt and find new ways to navigate this next phase of their collective lives. While the pregnancy represents a deeply personal and transformative journey for Eleanor, it also marks a pivotal moment for the ongoing narrative and its legacy. For longtime followers of their story, it serves as a potent reminder that life at its core is not only about family, love, and healing, but also about embracing life's inevitable, often unpredictable changes. Eleanor's pregnancy acts as a powerful catalyst for personal growth and profound transformation, not just for her individually, but for everyone orbiting within her sphere. It effectively sets the stage for an entirely new chapter in their story, one potentially filled with new joys, unforeseen challenges, and a renewed, perhaps redefined, sense of what family truly means. As the season progresses, Eleanor's pregnancy promises to be a defining arc that will reshape not only her personal trajectory, but the very emotional fabric of the community itself. This new chapter in her life represents far more than a simple plot development. It's a potent convergence of past, present, and future, an emotional crossroads poised to challenge her in ways she could never have fully anticipated. For viewers who have journeyed alongside Eleanor through every peak and valley, every experience of love found and lost, every step of her personal growth, this pregnancy signifies both a poignant acknowledgement of what has ended and a hopeful glance towards a new beginning. It offers a chance to honor the enduring memory of what was lost while simultaneously daring to embrace the boundless possibilities that lie ahead, however uncertain they may seem. The decisions Eleanor must now confront will undoubtedly shape her own future, but their impact won't be contained solely within her life. They will ripple outwards, profoundly touching the lives of everyone she holds dear. Her 12 from her young son Sam, who embodies both her connection to the past and her hopes for the future, to David, who represents a potential new path, to Isabel, Chloe, and the extended network of family and friends. Every choice Eleanor makes carries significant weight and consequence. Viewers are poised to witness the raw, often messy, yet ultimately powerful forces of love and resilience, themes that have always resided at the very heart of this narrative since its inception. Through moments of joy, instances of heartbreak, and completely unexpected twists, the story will underscore that life's most meaningful rewards often emerge directly from navigating its most demanding trials. As this transformative chapter continues to unfold, their story serves as a reminder to us all of a simple yet deeply resonant truth. Family isn't solely defined by bloodlines or origins, but by the shared experiences, support systems, and bonds we cultivate and nurture along the way. Whether Eleanor ultimately chooses to remain rooted in the familiar landscape of her town, carrying forward the legacy of the place and the people who shaped her, or bravely steps onto a new, uncharted path toward an unknown future, one thing remains undeniable. The essence of their story will continue to thrive, deeply anchored in the themes of love, resilience, and the unbreakable connections that have always held this chosen family together. In a quiet, reflective moment, as Eleanor stood looking out over the familiar skyline, the setting sun casting long shadows and bathing the town in a soft golden light, she felt a sense of grounded peace settle over her. The journey to reach this point of quietude had been incredibly long, winding, and fraught with profound grief, paralyzing uncertainty, and intense internal battles. But through navigating every single challenge, Eleanor had unearthed an inner fortitude, a resilience she hadn't known she possessed. With Sam standing close, his small hand instinctively finding hers, and David a quiet, supportive presence nearby, there was a palpable, unspoken acknowledgement in the air that this moment marked a significant point of transformation. Eleanor's heart, once seemingly fractured beyond repair, had slowly learned to expand, making space to hold both the cherished, indelible memories of her past of Liam, the love they shared, the life they briefly built, and the burgeoning, bright hope for the future she was now tentatively, bravely beginning to shape with David. Liam's love would forever remain a foundational part of who she was, the bedrock upon which her life had been reconstructed. But in this specific moment, bathed in the gentle evening light, Eleanor felt a readiness, a willingness to take the next deliberate step into a new chapter, one potentially filled with renewed love, the growth of her family, and the infinite promise held within new beginnings. A soft breeze whispered through the nearby trees, carrying the familiar sense of the town she had always called home. Her gaze swept over the landscape that had borne silent witness to her greatest triumphs and most devastating heartbreaks, the place that had seen her deepest sorrows and her most profound joys. And now this same place was poised to witness something entirely new, a future she hadn't consciously planned or imagined, but one she was gradually, carefully learning to embrace. 13. No matter what specific challenges or joys the future held in store, one realization felt clear and anchoring. Eleanor was no longer navigating this path entirely alone. Surrounded by the unwavering love and steadfast support of those individuals who had acted as her pillars through the absolute darkest periods, and grounded by the enduring connection to the community that had always, in its way, nurtured her spirit, she felt ready. One hand rested gently, protectively, on her growing belly, a tangible symbol of the future unfolding within her, while the other seemed to hold tightly to the invisible threads connecting her to the legacy of those who came before, especially Liam. A small, genuine smile touched her lips, a quiet acceptance of the inherent uncertainty that lay ahead, coupled with the deep-seated knowledge that within every challenge lies an opportunity for strength, and within every uncertainty resides the possibility of hope. This moment felt distinctly like just the beginning of a significant new chapter, and Eleanor, drawing strength from her past, her present support, and her hopes for the future, felt prepared to embrace whatever came next. Because this community, this network of lives, has never been just a geographical location. It's always been a living symbol of resilience, of the slow and often painful process of healing, and of the powerful, unbreakable bonds that hold a chosen family together through absolutely everything life throws their way. And now, perhaps more than ever before, that enduring spirit lives on vibrantly within Eleanor, within Sam, within David, and within the story that is still actively being written day by day. To everyone following this journey, thank you. Your engagement here, support, your connection to these lives and their stories is what breathes vitality into this narrative. You are an intrinsic part of this ongoing legacy, so please stay with us, continue to watch, because the most powerful, transformative chapters may still be yet to come. Until we meet again, take good care of your own hearts, hold your loved ones close, and never ever stop believing in the possibility of second chances and new beginnings.